Okay, I'm back. Sorry. If anyone was watching the previous episode, or previous video, I should say, not episode, I put my son to sleep, so I need to take a break. I'm going to try and talk a little lower, so maybe I can turn my voice up. I think it's up right now, so hopefully it's loud enough. Okay. Trying to remember what I was doing. Okay, I made that 2D platformer thing. My Twitch feed should show me online. It's not. Refresh it. Should be online now. Okay, there it goes. Huh, no, it's still saying that I'm offline. I understand. I think I can just go to my channel or something. I'm still kind of learning all this. I have 0 viewers. Should have at least me. I'm watching. What's going on? Huh. Well, I don't know what's going on with that. Okay, so whatever. It's kind of showing me. Let me get back to what I was going to do, which was showing off the door asset. So let's do a quick run through again. We got doors you can open, and you can close them with different number presses. One thing I still want to build also, which isn't on my notes, is a door that basically will know which side you approached it from. So I need a door with collision that notices player side of the door. Now this would only be for hinged doors, so that they could potentially be hinged to go back and forth. Hinged doors to be able to go both ways. Alright, I think that's good. Now, here we go. So I added that in there. Basically, you go back here. What else we got? So, yeah, I got the other ones open. I was saying there's a trigger. Should probably go over the trigger a bit. Show you how that works. Alright, so we'll see here that this door that I've got, it's got this panel doors, and that panel door has the door script on it. I think where I left off, I could just do another quick run through just because, in case you didn't watch the first video. Basically, you hook up your player. In this case, it's the first person controller. You select your door type. This is a hinge down. That just happens to be the direction that, that's what they call it in script. It doesn't necessarily go down in scene, but that's, I'm just sticking to the script name so you don't mess that up. In case someone has to change something in script one day, at least the names will be the same. Now, the waypoint is for a different type. This is a hinge door, so we'll go over this one. Now, I have it set up so that the knob here is your target, and when we adjust our open range, you'll see that that gets larger and smaller and is related to that, and you can turn that on and off so you can see it. Basically what this is how close you have to be for the door to do anything, for the trigger to work possibly, and for it to just open on its own. It opens by player distance. That's why you need the player attached. Now we'll get into swipe distance. Here is for a different door. If you have, let's say, a swipe right door, then you'd want to swipe distance, and that you can just punch in a number and it will go to the left or to the right, whichever direction it shows here in the type. It'll go in that direction, and then when you're done it'll slide back. And so that's good for like a more futuristic type door. And this is supposed to be hinged down, so I'll put that back. Next is movement speed, so that's how fast the door will move. So you'll notice when I hit, let's go over here. When I hit this door, it goes at kind of a slow speed. Now if I go over here and use this one, see how much faster that door opens. And that's all just, you can adjust that with movement speed. And it will work for all the different door types. So if you're doing a swipe, it'll still move that one at your swipe speed. And then you have your hinge distance, so that'll determine how far your door opens. I wonder if I can change some of this live. Maybe that could be kind of fun to watch. So if I come over here, okay. Okay, and this one's a little messed up now because I messed with these. Make that like 5. Okay, so that opens and shuts. I'll do the same thing because it didn't save the 5 for some reason. I'm doing it live, but I wasn't trying to save it. So, okay. No, it shouldn't do that. It's kind of hard to do in here. But anyways, if I change the speed, I just mean movement. Now let's say we make it something ridiculous like 5. It's like the slow-mo door, which maybe could be fun for something. And you know, I wonder how this will look when it gets to the sway buffer at the end. There you go. I got your super slow-mo door. What just happened? And you could really speed it up if you wanted. So let's go 450. Up the open range just because I'm annoyed that it's getting out of range. So there you go. Now it's really fast. And say we want to make the hinge distance to the max. Now when you get close to this max here, you can run into problems where, yeah, it'll do weird stuff. So you got to make sure if you're doing that, then you turn the movement speed down, because the way the script works just won't handle that, because it's checking a number between 1 and 180. And if it's passing through there and you're past 180, then it's just like, I don't know where to go. That's something that, you know, with some script work probably can be fixed. But the way it's designed right now, let's do that. Okay, and you know, you can make it a lot less. I could just crack open. You could even like, yeah, there you go. So now let's say we want it to be a lot slower, so let's go 150. And it's like maybe there's something in the way at the door. And you're like, oh, I can't open this one. It's shut. Let me go in. Oh man, can't get in there. That could be fun for a game too. Just a door you can't get in because there's something blocking it. And maybe you go and you find what's blocking it and move it, and then hey, look, you change your hinge distance through script, and bam, your door works better again. And it's all, you can update live, so you could totally do that. Now, so you'll go to 83. So that's pretty sweet. I hadn't really thought of that idea. Now you also have here is your different sounds you can attach. So let's say, not sure, I think I have my sounds turned off. Turn it back on. I have this kind of like more swipe door noises, but I need to get some new door noises. That's on my to-do list. Basically, I'll play one of them when it opens and one of them when it closes. And you could potentially put as many sounds as you want. Normal rule of threes applies here, so if you put 3 in there, it usually sounds pretty good because you get a nice mix. So the door doesn't just constantly sound the same. Now, on to the next thing. So there you go. There's your door, hinge door. I think that's enough coverage for that. Now we'll go check out the door trigger. You'll see that this one, as you can see, I use the X key, and it opens and closes the door. Now, that's thanks to this door trigger here. So I have it to set to use the open range, which right now is basically how you should use it. So it will follow what the door script open range is. So that way it doesn't need to be set in 2 places. Technically, you could have that off, and then maybe later in some trigger script building, you could have it set within the door trigger itself. It could override for whatever reason, but right now they're separate and together at the same time, so I'm trying to use the power from the door script to run the trigger as well. So now you put in here like door canvas. So if I go ahead and go on door canvas, you'll see it says use X. There's a little UI text, and you can have it say whatever you wanted there. And it won't matter because what it does is it replaces it through the script. So if you go here to your panel door, you'll see that uses the text. So basically what it's using for the text is the formatting you've done. So say you want it to be a certain format, a certain color, and that's all handled so you right here, by whatever you define. Now if you go and you open the door trigger, you'll see the door script. Now what you want to do is find up here at the top, it says text, UI text, use, open with, and close with. So whatever you want to do. So say you're using the 2-button method, which is that there's a button that opens it and a different button that closes it. You would have these 2 different texts that you could change to say, maybe I want to say open with, maybe say open with the, and you want to add the in there. And use is just the one for if it's a 1 button. So use this, and there you go. It works to open and close. Now you have your open button and your close button, which are key codes, and you'll see here you don't have to go and do that in the script. You can come over here to like the open button and change it with the keyboard press, and it's just that simple. So now R will be your open button, and since it's 1 button, R is the only button that matters. And then now you'll see it down here, it says use R instead of use X, and then you can put whatever you want, T, and it says use T. So now if I walk up to that door and use the T key, it'll work. So it's super simple, and you can pick whatever key mapping you want for the keyboard. It currently doesn't have a setup for the 360 controller. That will be a thing I should probably add to here. 360 controller support. So for joystick buttons, and maybe I don't think it'll work because some of those aren't key codes. They actually like some sort of on-off switches. So there'll be a number between 0 and 1 instead of just, oh, this is that key. Can't remember exactly what they're called, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So it'll work with the keyboard, that's the point. So that's what you get right out the box for the door. And I think that just about wraps up the door. So we'll go ahead, stop for a minute, let me see what is next. Seems to have lost that page, so now I gotta go find a page that I had some notes on for things I wanted to cover, so bear with me for a minute here. There we go. Well, I think that is a good starting point for some of the stuff. Now we'll just go ahead and check out the AGT system for a little bit. And yeah, sounds like the plan for me. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and go back to using my joystick here. Oops, I'll go to main menu. We have this sound. I turn it down. Let's see. Not sure how if that'll echo or not, but okay. First off, let's show the first person part of the AGT system. So right now we got to start where you have a little intro video, and that kind of flies in and shows you where you're going to start. Hold on for a second. Okay, well, whatever. Now you'll have a pause menu in here. So if you hit start or escape on the keyboard, it'll bring that up. So you got some more options. So first option is your backpack, and that'll be, oops, what button that is. Okay, and that's mapped currently to the R3 button, so you could just quickly get to it. For some reason the mouse is visible, which is kind of annoying. Let me turn that off for now. So you do have that in your settings. You can turn the mouse cursor on or off. It's not quite visually working in the menu, but it does work. It's a little buggy. I haven't put much time into it. I think that's something I want to do, is get the menus looking a little better, but right now it's where it's at. So yeah, you have quest log, which currently doesn't have much functionality. It just kind of takes you over here, but the idea is to be able to eventually have a way to pick up a quest. if I go to game map, you'll see that you get this little zoom in, zoom out kind of map from a top-down perspective. Goal being here that I'm going to add ways to have markers and stuff on it. Right now there's no markers, it's just a map that you can zoom in and out of. And you can see your player on. So here's my player just as a shadow of one of these T-pose models I've made. And eventually you'll have some sort of body that you can see. And I can do things where you can come up to people and they'll have like an emblem above them for like an Xbox controller X button. Keyboard button works too if you want to hit X. You can also use those. So I'll hit X and I'll bring up a little menu here where I can buy the bow. So I'll go ahead and buy it. So now I've got the bow. I can shoot the bow when it has a bit of a scope on it. You can use it to break things like destructibles here. We should bring out some coins you can pick up. And then if you, I think my picture's in the way for the Twitch feed, but in the lower right corner you have currency, and that's being added as I collect coins. Now if you come over here, you'll see that I've got a knife now and a bow. I just picked the knife up. So if I hit a different button, I have it to where certain keyboard keys will do certain things. And it's 1, 2, and 3 for weapons right now. But as far as the inventory system, it's still very basic. But then if you hit, you can go back to the bow. I can break some of these up. I don't really like this bug that I have right now. I need to fix. Basically, part of the bow disappears. Somehow the inventory system breaks some sort of parenting. I haven't fixed it yet. So I'm going to do is just reload real quick. So I don't want to be annoyed by that. Hit X, buy it. Got the bow. Works. You can shoot as much as you want. In this case, the bow has a secondary option. This is a fireball. It could potentially be a fire arrow, or whatever you want it to be. And these are kind of fun. You can use them to break up the barrels too. They currently don't do any damage to players or to the creatures, the enemies. But you can shoot them, and that's like a pickup that was up there. It's kind of like a sneaky spot. You get a bigger value drop right there. And then here's an example of the door script. Now this is the swipe doors. You'll notice they swipe in all directions. And there you go. You can also, have it where it pulls a bunch of models at the same time, so you can have like kind of like a spiked gate thing going on. So I'll talk to this guy, and he'll tell me something about this table. He's kind of the guy that's gonna be running this quest table. So that's how you get to it right now. You gotta walk to it and hit X to enter and exit. If you go back here, you'll see Thane the Destroyer. He's kind of just like a little placeholder boss. If you shoot him, he'll come attack you and do damage to you. His stick will do damage. And I'm not sure if you can see your health bar, but it's in the lower right or lower left corner. And there we go. I also just noticed that I have a thing that tells what day the build's from, and that's not right. I have to update that by hand. Okay, now that will activate it. And I hit activate. And that should give me a power shot. So now when I hold the button down, I'll shoot 3 at once. Oh, the bow still broke. Gotta figure that one out. That kind of bugs me. Okay. It's on my list of bugs for major bugs. I just been doing lots of work elsewhere. Okay, so you can break all the barrels with it. And I can potentially pick up that knife, and you can stab the barrels too if you wanted. There it is. That drops the coins. Pick them up. And the script set up so that you can see them fall out for a second, even if you are in range, just so there's a bit of a delay, so the player can actually see what fell out of the barrel. Because when you're in melee range, you get really close, you can't really notice what's going on. And there's some basic enemies set up here. They'll drop a pickup, and they'll come after you. Basically just have these melee guys. Now this guy, he kind of freaks out sometimes. You never know what you're gonna get. Oh. Yeah, he dropped a mining pick, but you didn't see it because I was in range, so you might want to set a delay on that one as well. But yeah, so now I have the miner's pick, the knife, and the bow, and I can get to my little miner's pick here with a joystick button. And basically set up to break up certain things, and then I can collect little mining parts. Those currently don't go anywhere, but the idea is that eventually they'll be in your inventory too, and you would see them as like another inventory item, like a consumable, and it would be like mining rocks, you know, based on what kind of metal and ore that you would want to be picking up. And then you'd use those for crafting, which is the other part that I'm trying to get built. Because the idea is that this will be part of my game, which is going to have crafting as a big part of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'll switch my weapons to this bow, because I like the fireball rounds right now. These barrels. Something fun about breaking barrels. Okay. Now we'll go get all these coins. Whoa. Well, there you go. So that's basically where the system is right now. That's most of the features. So I can also kind of show you, just for some insight about the game. I gotta go over to my documents. So currently it's called Project Mayhem, because that's just what I ended up calling it a while back. So what I'm gonna have so far, you know, all this stuff that can change, but one of the ideas I have right now is that you'd have skill types and skill points, and basically as you increase in the skill tree, you get better at using that kind of stuff. So if you use swords and maces, then you'd craft swords and maces and get, you know, better at using them as well. And same with ranged, armor, shield, and then there'd be a fire, ice, and like a spirit kind of magic that you can use. And without giving anything away, like this would power up your character's in a certain way. So there you go. That's like an easy explanation of what I'm going to try and build. So you will get a crafting system that will have the ability to make these kind of items. As far as the way the skill tree works, that may stay to my game and probably be more of like a separate one to make for the AGT system someday, but that may just be proprietary so that can be part of the game when the game comes out. Alright, so I think that's about all I wanted to cover today with my little deep dive. I can go ahead and show you the third-person camera, so you can see that working. So this is kind of my new thing. I'm currently using Unity's prototype character guy, so he doesn't quite work well on this level, but I'm planning to make a third-person level that, you know, showcases third-person stuff a little bit better. Because, you know, the melee weapon works, but like for instance the bow, I pick it up and, you know, it still works, but it's kind of weird for right now because I don't have any animations or really good like way to, I don't know, just make it look more like a video game, you know? So I'm going to change that, and yeah. So basically I should still have my two weapons. There you go, I got my knife out now. Just going to go get this guy. Just run into him right now because I don't have any attack animations for third person. Or first person, really. I don't have any attack animations. Okay. And then that would activate the bow, but I'm not really worried about that. I'm just kind of showing you the functionalities all here. Oh yeah, and also something I forgot was that this is like hot lava. So you get something like that in here too, which is just like an area effect, damage over time kind of script. I don't think the table quite works with him. There's a bit of a bug there because that guy's text should go away. Let me go ahead and just add that to my list while I'm doing that. Okay, let's change the color of the font here so I can see it. I'll go ahead and add that, which is, what was it? Oh yeah, quest guy UI stays active. Gotta fix that. Okay, now I see I got these enemies down here. It should work the same. I can get them. I'm at 4 health right now. Hope they don't get me. So far so good. Alright. I should have got the mining pick. There it is. So you have to currently go in and out. It doesn't have the button functionality built the way I want it yet, but it will. Just gotta run into it. And there we go. Looks like those still need to be connected. But like I said, this isn't the level that I'm going to build for the third person. Okay, but there you go. There's another example of that. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just give you a peek at this other first person level I've made. This one I'm using terrain. So I've got like environment in here, so you have some water. And this is kind of more me just getting a demo of things that will be in the game that will also come in here. So like these are like wattle fences, and the game that I'm making is about has like kind of a Viking theme to it. This is something that you see in like an old Viking town. They create fences out of wood and things like that. So the crafting system I'm going to have will be, first I was like, oh yeah, all kinds of metal stuff, but then I realized that Vikings used a lot of wood, so they built ships and stuff like that too. So it's going to effectively involve that stuff a bit. So it'll be wood crafting for like the bows. And they didn't really use bows that much, as they used axes and things like that, so it should be fun to get to combining the two. And in this level you can come over here and buy the bow like you do in the other one. And there's some stuff you can shoot at. Some pickups. Some guys way out here, and you'll see how the bow, you have to like adjust a bit when you go farther out. It's basically like the little triangle line. If you line up the triangle line as you get farther out, you get a headshot. And that's kind of like the trick. And these guys, yeah, they don't really do anything. There's a couple, kind of like start of a building out a scene of some sort of action being played out, where there's a couple guys who maybe need medical attention, and then that guy's supposed to be helping them. But they're not set up in any way like that. Right now they're just an enemy that doesn't have an enemy script. But eventually you're going to have guys that won't attack you unless you go after them first. It's an example of a power-up. And there's the water. You see over the water. Currently don't have any sort of splash thing that happens when you hit the water. That could be nice. And the fireball isn't turned on this level. Yeah, that's basically it. There's an example of just having a hammer as a pickup. Doing the same kind of thing, break them down. And I think that is going to wrap it up for today, so thanks for watching the video. Hope this helps with anybody looking to learn more about IvyMoonGames and our assets that we have for sale. Be sure to check out our Facebook page, because I put up, basically when I make a deal or something, I'll put it up there. And if you are still watching this, join the Discord, because that's where I'm going to give away free vouchers for stuff. So if you want to get some of this stuff for free, come talk to me on Discord. Alright, and I think I'm going to call it a day, and everybody have a good one.